All right. Welcome to Drostan and not at night, in the morning. Um, yeah, we're still in our PJs, so it the continuity still works. I'm with Barbara. You might recognize her from nothing because she's not been on the channel before, but she probably
I'm
looks
not
really
famous.
well, not yet. Not yet. But she might kind of look like my wife, mostly because she's Steph's mom. So this is my mother-in-law, Barbara.
Hello, everybody.
So, Barbara, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What's your life story?
Well, of course, I'm married, got a couple kids. I'm a sedation nurse for an interventional radiology department. But I've also, most of my life, been like either running or doing gymnastics or weightlifting, that kind of thing. Love to read.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I always have my nose in a book, lose myself. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
like that
kind of
Eminem
it.
song. I think he's talking about losing himself in the music, but it's losing
It's,
herself in a book.
yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
It's all right.
so you try to maintain. Man, the cats are just going crazy today. They
Mm.
didn't do any of this the other day whenever we did this with Steph, but they're going to distract me, so I'm sorry. But we're going to try to continue. So, you try to maintain a very healthy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I know, there's ups and downs as with everybody, but I know you were a runner for quite a while. Oh yeah, you're actually wearing your was that the Chicago
Chicago,
Marathon?
yeah.
Yeah, which you completed shortly before I came around.
Actually, no. You had
No?
just started dating.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Well, my memory is that bad. All right.
October 11th,
Oh
precisely.
yeah, like a couple of days, like 6 days after we started dating. Okay. Um, yeah. So, tell us a little bit about the running and your love of running.
Oh, I don't know if I had a run a love of it, but well, I did do track in high school, but it was sprints. I didn't do anything long distance,
That's the
and
way to do it right there.
yeah, it was just sprinting. But in nursing school, it's very stressful, and
As I say.
yeah, my dad had been running several years by then, and my mom just said, "Hey, do this groundhog run with us." Okay, why not? So I
Mm-hmm.
started just kind of jogging, and it just kind of progressed from there. And it was a really good stress release, especially that last semester in nursing school. It
Mm-hmm.
just, I was able to just get outside and do what I needed to do. Um, and then more recently, though, I can't really run just because of the injuries I've had, but I still get on the elliptical at the gym, lots of weightlifting, the best that I can. So with a recent diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis, anti-inflammatory diet is good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Carnivore, low carb.
not a freak about it.
Yeah,
I mean, I still have my glass of milk and a piece of cake once in a while, but
as God
or my
intended.
wine. It is bad. I do drink the wine, but clearly.
A little bit. We'll leave it at that. But well, tell me a little bit more about RA and this recent thing, because I mean, I know you've kind of talked about it, but we haven't really
Mhm.
gotten a chance to really discuss it.
Mhm.
So, just what does that entail? Well, for anybody who doesn't know, what is RA?
The
And then
rheumatoid arthritis.
yes, and then how does it affect you, and how's it going?
It affects my joints. My grandmother, my dad's mom, had it really
Mm-hmm.
bad. So it does tend to be genetic. It can run in the family. My dad's got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel it mostly in my hand and my knees. And watching my grandmother, she did not have a great quality of life and
Mm-hmm.
for years. She just did not have that. And
Yeah, there's also dogs in the house that will also probably bark because there's fun fact, the water, we're having problems with the plumbing, so there's plumbers here. So
digging up the yard.
yeah, so you might hear that in the back. You shouldn't hear the digging part, but you might hear the barking part. So anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
So anyway, yeah. So my grandmother, like I said, I just remember seeing her most of my life as just being really crippled, not really able to move around. Her quality of life was just really bad. But I don't want to be like that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I want to be able to I guess the best way to say it is about a month ago, I went and had that evaluation done at the gym again.
Mm-hmm.
And they always say, what are your goals? And I always say, I want to be like my mom when I'm 77. I mean, my mom's crazy in a good way. So
She's feisty for sure.
yeah, she jogs, she swims, she dances, she zip lines, she gets on the floor with her great grandchildren. And, so if I don't take care of myself now, then I'm not going to be able to do that when I'm 77.
Right.
So that's my biggest drive right now, is just wanting to do that in 20, 25 years.
And RA is typically autoimmune. Is that?
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, affects your joints. You get real stiff. And a lot of people have different types of arthritis. Some are just worse than others.
Yeah. Loud crash. Yeah. Anyway.
It's life.
Yeah. His dogs.
Reality. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. We're being very authentic here, so I hope you guys can appreciate that.
I like my podcast being realistic, so it's all good.
So I know you did really enjoy running, or you came to really enjoy running.
I did, yeah.
You don't run marathons usually unless you enjoy it, or you're really, really stubborn. Marathon upcoming? Probably not for a while, but
yeah, it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. But you also have been plagued with a lot of shoulder injuries.
Oh yeah,
that have kind of limited your running. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, my first labral tear would have been in 2014, I think. Yeah, 2014, I think. So I did a sprint triathlon, and the swimming, it was only like a quarter of a mile, but I'm not a strong swimmer.
Yeah. I'm not either.
So I did what I could, pulled myself out of the water. But I ended up tearing it then. So that was my first surgery. And then, unfortunately, I did tear it 2 more times. And yeah. And then, of course, I tore the meniscus with the marathon. Mm-hmm. So, I think my biggest takeaway from all those injuries, to be honest with you, is I wish I had actually had a trainer back then that would have been able to, like, evaluate my like my gait and things like that, because I've learned a lot since I've started seeing a trainer, especially with my shoulder, because I had really backed off all the physical stuff because I was so scared of having a 4th shoulder surgery that I did gain weight. I wasn't eating as much as healthy as I should have been. So, there were several years there where I just really kind of became a slug. So, yeah, I mean, it happens. But when I found my trainer, and then he's been able to modify, my 3rd surgery was actually the worst, where the tendon was torn completely off the bone, and it was like hanging down here.
I remember that.
Yeah.
She's all like lopsided. Hey guys, how you doing?
That was when we moved in here. So
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but finding my trainer really made a big difference. I don't see him. Actually, I can't even remember the last time I saw him, but I see him at the gym, and he'll high five me or fist bump or whatever, and keeps telling me good job. But he got me started in, okay, well, I can still do this. So I just need to modify this angle, and I can then do this. And so that really kind of got me back into it. So
okay. And so obviously you find a personal trainer really helpful.
I did.
Would you say, even if you hadn't had these injuries, would you still, knowing what you know now, go back and get a personal trainer?
I would, at least for a few sessions, just because he had shown me some other things I never would have thought about. I don't feel like I'm a person that specifically needs a trainer like every single week. He was really good for ideas, help keep me on track, and he's still there if I want. I had even said to him one time, "Ooh, I should make another session with you," and he said, "You look like you're doing great, and I don't know what I can tell you anymore." So that made me feel good. There's no pressure at the gym that you and I go to. Is hey, I'm here if you want, but you're making great progress. So
yeah. I remember when I was in high school, I did a weights first semester, which was the first time I'd ever really done any exercise. I mean, I did baseball when I was a kid, but Anyway, and that it was nice because I mean it wasn't like a personal trainer, but
Mm-hmm.
basically they just gave you the like the program, and then
Yeah.
they basically kind of walked you through
Mm-hmm.
this is what you're gonna do if if you are successful in this weight, then
Mm-hmm.
next class you do
This
this
is
weight,
yeah.
and so and they would periodically check and they would like go
Mm-hmm.
through your like notebook. It was like a folder, and then you
Yeah.
had like your you'd like write down, hey, I
Mm-hmm.
did 105 pounds of squat, I don't know, whatever,
Right. Yeah.
and they would go through that. So that was nice. I have personally not used a trainer
Mm-hmm.
ever really. I got a free one whenever you had
Mm-hmm.
me sign up for the gym, and it was nice. I
Eh,
personally don't really like doing like machines, and
mm-hmm.
I find it kind of super gay.
Yeah, and not, trainers are definitely not for everybody.
Right.
The trainer that I happened to be paired up with ended up being a good match because he doesn't like the machines either. He
Mm,
prefers more free weights
which is the way to go,
um
in my opinion.
or even all those, I don't even know, I mean, like your own body weight or the bands.
Mm-hmm.
He's shown me
Resistance
a
bands
lot
are
of
good.
different things with resistance bands, and it also for me, and I didn't take weightlifting in high school,
Mm,
so I was just kind of willy-nilly on my own,
I
but I
get it.
never really did like a research. I could have gone on YouTube and gotten the same information,
Mm-hmm.
but it was nice to have him stand there and go, "Hey, you need to make sure you watch your knees.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put them out. Make sure you're lined up here when you're doing these." And
Mm-hmm.
so that has actually really made a big difference too with just everything with
Mm-hmm.
because I got on the rower 2 weeks ago. I hate the rower, but I was using it, made myself get on it. And when I got off, I couldn't stand on my right knee. And that's where the arthritis in my knees is the worst, is my
Mm-hmm.
right one. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? But it never hurt while I was doing it. And I just happened to mention it in passing to one of the guys, and they said, I bet you were putting your
Going
leg out.
going sideways.
Yeah. And I was like, oh. So it's just little things like that
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think about.
Yeah. Okay. So, and from my understanding, your personal trainer also worked in a physical therapy office.
He did. And
Not
that
as a physical therapist, but just as like an assistant,
I don't
or
know. I
he just
honestly,
was there.
I'm not sure exactly what he did, to be honest with you, but I know that he was familiar with the shoulder surgeries that I had
Mm-hmm.
had, and so he was able to take whatever he did there at the PT's office, and then so the matchup was just what, divine intervention maybe, because it was a really good match. It
Mm-hmm.
made me go back because like you said, you start with that one free session, and I really liked his personality, and I liked the things that he said and how he was familiar with my injuries, because that's what
Mm-hmm.
really held me back from staying healthy, was the fear of
Hurting.
and in remembering what that felt like to have it pop, and it was awful.
Yeah, the crunching sounds and
Oh, yeah, so bad when you hear it come from your own body.
yeah, ooh, yeah. It's
it's
different when it's somebody else.
it's
You're
just
like, oh man, that sucks for you, man, and
oh
then
man, yeah, yeah.
oh, it
Not
was
a good
mine.
time. Not a good time.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to the holding back on things for
Hmm.
fear of hurting yourself
Yeah,
again.
your legs. Yeah.
Maybe I can hold it up. You guys can see it. My scar, because I don't know if you guys have really seen the
And
scar.
matching on the other side.
Yeah, this one's not as impressive.
Mm.
Maybe I can get it in that one. It's not as impressive. That one was like only half the length, but this one also only was 2 compartments, and then this one was 4. But yeah, like I mean, I still have lots of pain and issues
Mhm.
with it. Even though the doctor says you can't hurt yourself again. Oh, don't even get me started on that. But yeah, it's a bunch of crap. But yeah, like I didn't do anything at all for a long time and I
Mhm.
just ballooned in weight and got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And then I have my moments where I'm like, you know what, screw that, I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm stubborn. And yeah, and I would do it for a while, and then things come up, and then yeah,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, and that happens to a lot of people, though. I mean, that's
yeah,
life. A lot of people start and stop, and
that's not just me for sure. I mean, even you had that
I
with your
several
start
times.
and stop. So
Yeah, and even my trainer, his name is Trenton.
yeah,
So he had even said, he was like, "Yeah, it's okay as long as you come back and start again." He's like,
mm,
"Doesn't really matter. Just
yeah, it is what it is.
He's like, you'll get into the rhythm."
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a fear of like especially when they're going to the gym for the first
Mm-hmm.
time and they've never been a gym rat,
Mm-hmm.
of like people are going to judge me, or people are going to
Judging.
think, oh, well, he's doing like super low weight. He must be weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're at the
That's why
gym.
you start. Yeah.
That's why you're at the gym. Like, that is what it is. So it like, I understand why people I mean, I even have those thoughts sometimes, and I'm somebody who I genuinely do not give a flying doodle what people think, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's why I'm silly and throwing my leg scar up in the camera, because it's just, it is what it is. Hopefully that one, because that one isn't quite as good of a camera, so hopefully that one, it shows it okay. I can always enhance it and post. Enhance, and then you do like the meme of the like NCIS.
Oh, there you go.
But dog's trying to get inside. But yeah, like, I've noticed that with a lot of people, which I'm planning on doing a video talking about that, which may or may not be released by the time this video comes out. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. Um, but yeah, just kind of getting in there, like, nobody cares. Like, legitimately nobody
Mm-hmm.
freaking cares. What
Yeah,
it's
everyone's focusing on their own thing.
Yeah, they got their own stuff going on. They all got their own problems. A lot of them have their own injuries that they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of them you can't. I mean, you can't even tell. Obviously, if you see somebody who's like an amputee, you're gonna be like, okay, well, they got that going on. But
Yeah.
a lot of injuries, I mean, you can't. I mean, your shoulder thing, you would never know. You'd think, oh man, she's just weak. She's not even doing overhead press. Like, do you even know how to work out?
Do you know what you're doing?
Do you know what you're doing? And frankly, I do see people at the gym where I really question, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I
Sometimes
think we
it's
all see those.
sometimes it's moments like, sweetheart, you are going to hurt yourself. Like,
Sometimes
really
it's
bad.
scary sometimes, and the occupational hazard of being a nurse. I'm always like, maybe I better not go too far away. I'm really worried about that person.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're knocking at the door.
no,
Let me go down and check real quick.
all right, we're going to pause again, and we'll come back. Motivators, editing Drostan here. Just wanted to take this time to thanks for watching while we were messing around with the plumber and stuff. Just thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And anyway, let's get back to the video.
So yeah, we were talking about worrying about some people in the gym.
Yeah.
But actually, I like, and this is probably sounds weird, but what I actually like to see is these large obese people coming in, and you are not obese. But I like to see them come in, and I'll see them start to walk the track, and and I always like smile at them, and just try to give them some kind of
positive reinforcement.
Some nonverbal, hey, and you're here, good job. Because especially as a nurse, I know what these problems can lead to. And so many of the people's problems that I see in the hospital, no matter where I've worked, it's because people didn't take care of themselves. And that doesn't mean everything. There are some things you cannot control.
Yeah, like a motorcycle accident.
Okay, there's some control there.
Well, if I don't know, a car wreck where somebody else hit you, I don't know. I'm just
no, you're
advocate.
right. But now you're talking to someone that used to own a motorcycle, so it's But anyway, you gotta don't deny yourself the cake.
Yeah, it's good to have it every once in a while.
But man, don't.
Just not every day.
Not every day. Yeah.
Or like even every week. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on your situation.
Depends on your, small piece.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're like me, you can't just have the small piece. You have to have the whole.
Gordon says that too. Yeah.
But you and your daughter and your mother are weird. Just like, I'll have half of a spoonful of ice cream. Oh, that was delicious. Well, I guess I'll have it again later. Do you guys do that? Like, is that a thing that you people do? Or are you on the correct side of this equation?
When I was training for the marathon, Gordon had gotten me this...
her husband, by the way.
Reese's. I love Reese's. Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh my gosh. But he got me one of those Reese's bars that you could break off. It had like little squares, I think. And I would only eat like one or two at a time. And he's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm deep in training here. I'm trying to,
I guess you have the goal, but I was in boot camp and they had chocolate milk
Mm.
at the cafeteria, chow hall. Yeah, I definitely got chocolate milk. Yeah, it was delicious, and I don't regret any of it.
No.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we can kind of wrap up here, but when it comes to the shoulder issue, what advice or I mean, that one's kind of an issue. It's not like the with Chris with the compartment syndrome where it's just kind of a thing that kind of builds over time and you don't really know what is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
With your type of shoulder problem with the tears and the popping and the crunching and
we knew what
it's
it
pretty
was.
apparent like right away.
Yeah.
But I guess for those who have a more minor injury with that, what would you be on the lookout for, and then how would you avoid getting that type of shoulder injury?
Oh, definitely. If getting a trainer is not really your vibe, and that's fine because a lot of people don't. There's a lot of resources out there. YouTube videos. I know several people that use those YouTube videos that can help them learn. Make sure your angle's right, make sure your form is right, because I think
it's all about technique.
I wasn't really looking out for my form when I was training all those times. And I think even after like my first surgery, if I'd had a little more guidance on being more careful, then I think maybe, I mean, who knows? Maybe not. I wouldn't have had 2 more surgeries after that. I don't know. I mean, no one will know. But if I had utilized my resources, those that are free, then I probably could have avoided some of it.
Yeah, or it may have been a lesser
degree. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if trainer's not your thing or if you're open to it, and just do a couple of sessions. You don't have to keep going every single week for 3 years to spend that kind of money. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But, get some advice, have someone evaluate, or even, buddy up with somebody at the gym. Both of you could watch the videos and watch each other's, like, as you're doing your squats, because you can watch yourself to a point. But in order to do some of those moves correctly, you can't look down. You've got to keep your spine in alignment, So go with a buddy and have them evaluate, or video yourself.
Video yourself is a great tool. Assuming your gym allows that.
Yeah,
or
and I know
if you do it at home.
Ours does, because I see people do it all the time.
Oh, well, I've been doing it kind of sneakily. That's how you get my nice gut shots from.
I see people do it all the time. So yeah.
I try to keep people out of the things, especially because I'm posting it like publicly as opposed to like just for myself. But particularly like with squat, most of the input that you're going to get from your form is going to be from the side profile.
Yes.
Because you want to watch the barbell should be going straight vertical, and both up and down. It shouldn't be like wiggle wobbling or being like going like an S or something.
You want to watch your knees and your hips and
from the back angle is the hips and the knees are really good for that, which obviously you can't see with yourself, even with the mirrors.
Yeah,
which I personally find the mirrors to just be absolutely stupid.
I
would use the
take
R
them or
word,
leave them,
but I think they're dumb. All it does is promote people to just like. Like, so there was somebody doing that yesterday. Like, so, okay, rant time. You have...
I'm going to agree with you on this.
Frankly, you have the huge difference and disparity between the people who go in the morning and the people who go in the afternoon. I have found myself that while I prefer the actual working out time to be in the afternoon, I'm a morning gym person. Mostly because of my schedule, but also the people that go in the morning are more serious.
They're
shade.
Just there to do their thing.
They're there. They get in, they do their stuff, and they get out.
They're not the showboaters.
Yeah, there's fewer gym thoughts, and just, oh my goodness.
The ones that admire themselves in the mirror.
Oh, and then they're like looking around, anybody else watching? No, there was one. So
there's a lot of them in the afternoon. Yeah.
My biggest pet peeve in the gym, and I should make a whole video. I could make a whole video about gym pet peeves, and then this one would be like the magnum opus. Like, it would be the whole thing. Yes. So you have like a power rack, which is for barbell movements, squats, well, in this gym, not bench because there's a separate bench, but
Mm-hmm.
squat, overhead press, stuff like that, and it's for safety. So that way, like if you
Mm-hmm.
fail on the lift, you can ditch it and you'll be fine. Like the bars will catch it and
Yeah.
you'll be safe.
Mm-hmm.
People who use those for things other than barbell movements
Oh,
drive me crazy. Like there was a
yeah. Can you move, please?
particular individual who he had dumbbells, which the dumbbells with
Or
their
on
own
the
freaking mirrors are on the other
other
side of,
side.
of the wall because
Yeah.
there's like a partition and then there's the squat rack
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the dumbbells.
Yeah.
He comes over to my side. Yes, it's mine now. And it's just doing his stupid little thing. And I like stared at, I just, after I would do my set and then I would have my rest time and I would just stare at him. Be like, seriously, dude, like, why are you here?
Why are you over here? Yeah.
And okay, in his defense, there wasn't anybody else over there, so it wasn't like he wasn't like keeping anybody from
Mm-hmm.
using it, but it was like, still, dude, like, come on. That drives me absolutely crazy. Like that little bit of the Marine Corps that's still in me just wants get the
Get in your lane,
you
man.
you. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I guess you want to be an individual, an individual, huh? Yeah. I'm so mad I can't even talk.
I get it.
But yeah, and then I guess with when it comes to RA would be more akin to the like compartment syndrome question of like what would you look for? Like what are kind of some symptoms and signs that like you wouldn't have thought of otherwise or wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, I bet this is definitely something more than just I'm getting older or it's
Mm.
rainy out.
Mhm.
I'm getting achy.
Well, and people, a lot of people get that as they get older. They're
Mhm.
just their joints ache, but that's normal.
Yeah, it
It
goes
just,
beyond that.
yeah, beyond that. So, like for me, I had to have blood work done,
Mhm.
but also my joints will actually be warm to touch.
Mhm.
Sometimes, like when I have a flare up, you can actually touch it and feel the heat, and that's really shows the arthritis that's in there because the
Mhm.
body is attacking itself and it causes the inflammatory process to start.
Inflammation and then causes more
Right.
inflammation, which causes more. Yeah, vicious
But
cycle.
my trainer, like I said, I give him updates even though I haven't seen him in a long time, and I had
Mhm.
mentioned that, and he was like, "Hey," made me giggle, but I knew what he was saying. He's like, "Motion is lotion," but it's true. You
Yeah.
can't if you stop. I mean, basically, your joints are going to kind of dry up, so you got to
Mhm.
just keep moving. I
Yeah.
don't think that answered your question, but
Motion is the lotion.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to keep it moving.
Yeah. But I guess more kind of circling back to the question of like, obviously you just like what made you think, hey, there's something more here. I need to talk to a doctor about. Like my
Oh,
joints are just killing me. Like,
yeah, because it never let up, and I think some of it too was just being familiar with what are the symptoms because of not only my grandmother but
mhm,
my job, what I know, the swelling, the pain.
mhm.
I would ice it, I would heat, I would take the Aleve, and it just wasn't really going away. So that was just like, okay, yeah, there's something more going on. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Let's go find out.
Okay. And then if anybody is sitting here watching or listening, thinking, my God, maybe they're thinking, my God, too. But I felt that through the floor.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to go down there and lay the smack
Discipline.
down.
Yeah.
Do
Um,
you even remember what you were gonna ask?
but they're thinking, like, hey, I think I might have this problem too.
Mhm.
What should they like? How should they phrase that to their doctor? So like with the compartment syndrome example with
Mhm.
Chris, if you haven't watched that video, somewhere around in the cards. But he talked about how like um, he just brought up like, hey, I'm feeling a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
and then like if you use that, a lot of times that'll kind of click in
Mhm.
the for a lot of doctors, especially like orthopedic doctors,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be like compartments.
Mhm.
Whereas like if you say, hey, I'm just like my shins hurt when I run, well they're gonna
Mhm.
think, oh, you have shin splints, or
Probably.
maybe you
Yeah.
have a stress fracture because I've
Mhm.
had all of the above, and
Mhm.
that was usually the answer. I'll get, oh, you just have shin splints. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, but they never go away. And then I would also get the answer of, oh, well, maybe you have another stress fracture. Let's go get an MRI.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, with the arthritis, it's, I was waking up with it every morning. It would have to slowly work itself out, but it got to the point where a lot of days it wasn't getting any better. Like even like right now, I mean,
Yeah, it looks pretty puffy.
it's swollen, and that's just
Yeah.
that's what finally triggered me in. And especially with the knees, the hand, everything, it wouldn't go away, even with my over the counter things or my ice, and moving it and trying to get going in the morning.
Yeah.
It just it wasn't getting better.
Fortunately, with something like that, doctors are more familiar with that, so
Yeah.
you probably won't have to use any secret code words like you do with compartment syndrome. But okay, well, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate the sit down and talk. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the little video here.
Maybe we should meet at the gym and do another one.
Yeah, we can.
I could video you. And...
Yeah, I could do like a in the gym, life in the gym vlog.
There you go.
Can make it.
I can show you what some of my modifications have been for.
Yeah. Modifications are something that I found with physical. When I did physical therapy, the like 15 times that I did it for the same problem. Certain modifications can be really helpful, especially if you're coming off an injury. And if you are coming off of like an injury, or you've had an injury and you want to get into fitness or movement, after, definitely.
There's a way to do it.
I mean, a personal trainer can be very helpful for that, but I would probably make the recommendation of speak to an actual physical therapist, since that is their specialty, and then kind of get a rundown. But I mean, if you can get a personal trainer who is also
familiar with that,
a PT or has worked with PT, then that can be, a lot of times that can be just good, because a lot of it is just basic. It is a lot of simple things. Like there's not a ton of things that are hugely different for main problems that you might come across.
Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. And again, it's not, that wouldn't be somebody you'd have to keep paying money out for all the time. If you just get a couple of basics, and I bet you could even
a lot of good
YouTube even that, modification, butterfly modification for
shoulder,
previous shoulder injuries, or something.
Shoulder injuries, or like or if you had like an elbow injury, or if you're having stuff with your gait, or you're like walking, or just like very basic movement. I know functional patterns. I haven't looked too much into it, but I know that there are a lot of people who have had a lot of good work with it. The problem with functional patterns that I've noticed has been not the actual principles and the things that they're doing. It's the people. It's kind of like the CrossFitters who are like, CrossFit or die. Like, if you don't do CrossFit, as they, deal with their fourth shoulder surgery because they're doing something stupid.
Yeah.
But no shade on the CrossFit. It's, I mean, y'all got drive. I'll give you that.
It's just not for your average person.
It's not for me.
It's not for your average person that's just trying to stay healthy.
But with the functional patterns, it's like you have to, or like vegans, you have to do this, otherwise you're wrong. Well, no, but I've found that it's been very helpful for a lot of people, so I'm putting that out there. Sure. I haven't done enough research on it to say go do it, but I probably should look into it. I've heard Mark Bell talk about it a few times on his podcast, but thanks again for coming out.
Yeah,
and by coming out I mean coming upstairs.
You know where to find me.
Yeah. So thanks. See you motivators later. We'll see you later.